Build your dreams, live rich, and leave rich.
Welcome to Live Rich and Leave Rich. You know, our whole philosophy here is that living rich, well, it's about living peacefully, not just lavishly. It's about making sure your money serves your life and not the other way around. Now, just a quick heads up. Think of this as a life philosophy, not specific financial advice. For your own situation, please always talk to a financial advisor. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about the future trap.
We've all got this little voice in our heads, don't we? It's the voice of someday. It sounds so promising. Someday I'll take that trip. Someday when the kids are finally settled. Someday when I retire. We keep pushing our real lives, our joy, into this imaginary future. A future that, let's be honest, might never look the way we picture it.
Of course it does. I mean, this is a story we're all told, especially growing up in India. It's drilled into us. Sacrifice now. Save every single rupee for a safe and secure tomorrow. We get so good at delaying gratification, telling ourselves that all this sacrifice today is going to pay off big time later. But what if that whole calculation is just wrong?
And here's the painful reality that nobody really wants to talk about. You grind for 40 years, you hit that magic number in your bank account, you finally reach the destination. But when you get there, your knees are shot, your energy is gone, your friends are dealing with their own health problems, and your kids, they're busy with their own lives. You've got the money, but you've traded away the only currency that really matters, your health and your vitality. So today, right here, right now, I want to give you permission. Permission to stop waiting for someday. We're going to walk through a new way of thinking, a framework that lets you plan for your future without completely bankrupting your present. This isn't about being reckless, not at all. It's about finding a smart, beautiful balance. The very first thing we need to do is make a huge shift in our mindset. We have to stop looking at experiences as just expenses, things that drain our accounts. Instead, I want you to start thinking of them as investments. Seriously, investments that pay out a very special kind of return. We're going to call them memory dividends.
This line from the Legacy Diary just nails it. You can't carry over your joy balance to the next life. It just doesn't work that way. Life is for living, right now. The goal isn't to finish the game with the highest score in your bank account, it's to finish with the richest collection of stories and memories.
So what exactly is a memory dividend? Well, think about it like this. A family trip you take when you're 40. That single experience pays you dividends for the next 40 or 50 years. Every time you tell a story about it, every time you laugh at a photo, every time you remember that feeling, that's a dividend. Now, what if you take that same trip at age 70? The experience itself is different, sure, but the payout period for those dividends is so much shorter. The bottom line is this. When you invest in experiences early, you get to enjoy the compounding returns of that joy for a much longer time.
And this really drives home the risk of waiting, doesn't it? I mean, what's the point of having crores in the bank if you don't have the health or the energy or even the people around you to enjoy it with? Money is just a tool. It's supposed to make your life better. It's not supposed to be your life.
Okay, let's look at some numbers for a second. Life expectancy in India is going up, and that's great news. For our planning, we should probably assume we're going to live a good long while, maybe to 82, 85, or even longer. That's a lot of time in retirement. But this brings up a really important distinction we need to make.
This slide is probably one of the most important ones today. We need to understand the huge difference between your lifespan, that's just how many years you're alive, and your health span, which is how many of those years you're actually healthy and active. Think of it as your go-go years, from maybe 30 to 60, when you have energy and your body cooperates. That's prime time. After that, you're in the slow-go years, where energy dips and health becomes more of a focus. The big mistake we all make is saving up all our fun for the slow-go years, when we can enjoy it the least. The secret is to front-load these amazing life experiences into your go-go years.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, Krish, this sounds good, but how do I actually do this without being irresponsible, right? How do we find that balance between today and tomorrow? Let's break it down with a really simple framework I like to call the 3 buckets of life.
Okay, picture your money going into 3 different buckets. Bucket number 1, that's safety. This is your foundation, your emergency fund, your term and health insurance. You fill this one first, no questions asked. This isn't about getting rich, this is about sleeping soundly at night. Bucket number 2 is freedom. This is your retirement plan, your SIPs, all that good stuff. You automate it. But here's the crucial part. You don't overfill it. Don't make yourself miserable today just to add a little more to this bucket. And then there's bucket number 3, my favorite, joy. This is your window to the world. This is money that you have specifically set aside for experiences. Spending from this bucket isn't a sin. It's your duty. You've planned for it, you've earned it.
A really easy way to see this in action is the good old 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your income for your needs, your home, your food, 20% for savings, that fills up your freedom bucket for the future, and look at that, a full 30% for wants. That's your joy bucket. See? In a healthy financial plan, joy isn't some leftover scrap of cash at the end of the month. It's a core, planned-for component of your life.
Let me tell you a quick story about two people we probably all know in some form. First, you have Uncle Sharma, the miser. The man was a saving machine, squirreling away 60% of his income. He never took a real vacation, wore old, torn clothes, and his excuse was always, "It's for the kids." He passed away at 65, left behind 5 crores in the bank, and his kids just fought over it. Then you have Auntie Verma, the balanced liver. She saved a very respectable 30%, but she made sure to spend on travel, on experiences, on charity. She lived to be 85, and while she left less money, she left behind a universe of stories, photos, and the legacy of a life that was truly, fully lived.
So, I have to ask you, who was truly the richer one? The man with the full bank account or the woman with the full life? That question right there is at the absolute heart of all of this, and it's a question only you can answer for yourself.
All right, let's turn all this talk into action. This isn't just a nice idea. I want you to walk away from this with a real, concrete plan to start living this way, without any of the guilt. It's time to do your own life audit.
The very first step is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Let's call it the 5% rule. I want you to take 5% of your annual income, or even your net worth, if that makes more sense for you, and you're going to earmark it for pure absolute joy. This money isn't for saving, it's not for investing. This money has one job and one job only, to be converted into amazing memories, and it has to be spent this year. So here's your 3-step audit. It's your homework. First, apply that 5% rule. You have to spend it this year on experiences, no excuses. Second, take a hard look at your life and prioritize your go-go years. Where are you right now? What can you do today that you might not be able to do in 20 years? Do those things now. And third, automate and forget. Set up your SIPs for your retirement. Let them do their thing in the background. Once that money is out of your account, the rest is for living. You have to stop checking your net worth every 5 minutes and start tracking your life experiences instead. So let's just pull all of this together. What have you really learned today? Number 1, don't postpone joy. A trek you take at 30 is a completely different thing from a gentle walk at 60. Experiences have an expiry date. 2, money is just a tool. Its real job is to be converted into experiences. The numbers on your screen will not hug you back. 3, invest in memories. They pay you dividends that compound your whole life. 4, you have to learn to spend guilt-free. Saving for your future is what earns you the right to enjoy your present. And finally, it's all about finding that balance. You don't have to be a miser, and you don't have to be a YOLO spender. That middle path, that is the rich life.
I'll leave you with one final question to really think about. If you knew for a fact this was your last year, what would you do differently? Would you be proud of how much you saved, or would you regret how little you truly lived? Something to think about. Find your balance.